Today, we're flipping through the double and triple albums that rewrote the rules. And you won't believe the doubles and triples have no filler. And which ones we're going to talk about that are in our collections.
Wake up. It's medication time.
Double albums are more than just long records. They're statements. You've got to have the material, have the vision, and the guts to pull one off. Even more so for the rare triple albums.
Here at Graybeard's Nation, we've picked 4 each from our collections to highlight, plus a handful of honorable mentions. Some are live, some are conceptual, but all of them are iconic. All right, Todd, I'm going to kick it off for us with Led Zeppelin, and 2 of them. We got Physical Graffiti and Celebration Day, both on the list for different reasons. As far as Physical Graffiti is concerned, it's probably most famous not only for having some great tunes on both albums, but for having Kashmir being most famous for being included in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, for being the song, according to the actors in the movie, to romanticize your first date with a girl.
Put on side 1 of Led Zeppelin 4.
I don't know how that ever worked out. I don't think it would work out great. And Celebration Day allowed a new generation of fans into getting the lead out, with Bonham's son Jason sitting in for the band. And you think about it, Physical Graffiti, the old, Celebration Day, the new, showed the old and newer sides of Led Zeppelin.
Okay, Lair. Here's one. Now, it is a live album, to be fair, but one of the best live albums ever made. Duane Allman, Dickie Betts duel it out in extended jams like Whipping Post and In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, all here on the Allman Brothers Live. Now, this was done at, it was a Bill Graham at Fillmore East over 2 nights. And I actually found this record, Lair, in a collection that I picked up. And it is in mint condition. It's on the Capricorn label. So, yeah, if anybody's interested in some good live rock and roll, Allman Brothers, yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
You know, Todd, a friend of mine once said when listening to the Allmans, especially Dickie Betts playing guitar, you don't even need vocals. When the guitar can sing like that, you don't need anything else.
Man, that is the truth, isn't it?
Yeah. Next up, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. I mean, this is a sonic tour de force. Funk, soul, jazz, pop, it's all here. Stevie played most of the instruments, but wrote every track, including one just about his daughter, who was just born. If you like your instrumental, talented fusion, as I do, this is a must-listen all the way through.
And Lair, I actually have the copy of this with the little 7-inch single. I found that, and I think the same collection I found the Allman Brothers LP. So
there's a good stuff. Yeah, there's a keeper.
Now, Lair, here's a surprise mega hit that turned Peter Frampton into a superstar. And we've mentioned this one before in the greatest live albums of all time. This is undeniably one of those. This is actually loaded with some of Peter Frampton's iconic, like, talk box, right? The Vox box moments. And, of course, the entire audience sings along with it. So it's great.
The talk box was a much more used method in the 60s and 70s than it is now. And one of the reasons is because those talk box, the vibrations, the serious vibrations that would come back into the guitarist and singer's mouth, would really loosen their teeth eventually with extended use. So that's a terrible health side effect from that. Joe Walsh was also a big talk box user and dramatically reduced it, in years after that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. When I knew somebody that had one, but he had all his teeth, as far as I know. Anyway, I got this wonderful album basically in a dollar bin. You can't find them much in a dollar bin anymore. Now look, there's a lot of ring wear on this one, but this pressing, and I've had several others, but this particular pressing sounds incredible. And that's why I actually love this one the most. Now, sure, could I find a better record cover and put that in there? Well, that wouldn't be fair. Now, that would be kind of cheating. So I have this one also on DBX. I also have this one and the Allman Brothers Band. on DBX. More to come on that in a future video there.
Next up, Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. This is a pop masterpiece, this double album, and it includes everything from the title track to Benny and the Jets to the epic Funeral for a Friend. I picked this up as a mobile fidelity, as you can see, gold copy, mobile fidelity, from Siren Records in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, which was highlighted, by the way, in the TV series Jack Reacher. This is a great store with tremendous selection of hi-fi vinyl and CDs, both.
And Goodbye Yellow Brick Road was one of my favorite records as a kid. I really did. I had a babysitter. She was kind of hot. And, if I can remember, but she used to listen to it. She had, remember, Larry, you had those fuzzy rugs that looked like feet? The fuzzy feet
yes,
rugs. Those damn things? She had one in her room, and then she had all the incense and things out there. And then I remember she had a Machine Head, Deep Purple, and then she would play Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And I'm digging that.
I had some of those fuzzy feet, and they were smaller ones, and they were stickers, and I had them on the wall, like going up to the ceiling. I also had love beads, so that when you came in my room, you walked through a bunch of love beads. But
I wouldn't tell anybody about that today, that you got some love beads, Larry.
We'll just keep that between us. Nobody else needs to know.
Yes, it's Electric Ladyland, a double album that every single song from A to D is absolutely perfect on this album. This was his studio album with the Jimi Hendrix Experience. It's a masterpiece, right? Voodoo Child. I mean, how you go wrong with that? 1983, A Merman I Shall Be, one of my favorite songs. Swirling, psychedelic journey through Jimi Hendrix and the Jimi Hendrix Experience. It really just pushed the limits of rock production. What they were doing in the studio. Now, there is an Electric Lady Studios, but believe it or not, none of the tracks on here were actually recorded at Electric Lady Studios. It wasn't done until Jimi Hendrix had passed away. It's one of my favorite records ever. I found this is actually a clean, very clean, beautiful sounding early press with the Warner Reprise logo on it. So, good stuff.
All right. Next up. Yes, Gov't Mule. Not everybody is going to know who this is, but I guarantee you, if you listen to this channel, you should check it out. This is a double album that became a hit because it had to be a double album. It's a full, complete show. There's a couple releases of this album with a little help from our friends. And this is the collector's edition, you could see. And the non-collector's edition is just a single disc release. This is the full concert from their New Year's show. And this is one of they have a New Year's show famously every year recorded, usually in Atlanta. Anyway, years ago, I was in a bootleg store in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and I could not believe the music I was hearing over the loudspeakers. I'm hearing great guitars, great bass player, great drummer, great sax going on. And I'm like, I know a lot about music. How do I not know who this is? So I finally asked the guy playing, what are you playing over the loudspeakers? He said, oh, that's Gov't Mule. Like everybody knew that. I'm like, Gov't Mule? What the heck is that? And all of a sudden I go out and I buy this collector's edition full concert, and I've been a fan since. They did actually a remake of a bunch of Pink Floyd music on 2 albums. They redid Dark Side of the Moon. I think they called it Dark Side of the Mule, and they did a double live with a bunch of Pink Floyd stuff on it. And I got to tell you, I'm not so sure I don't enjoy it more than Pink Floyd. These guys know how to rock hard, and they're ultra talented. So it was a wonderful find, and sometimes you just got to keep your mind open to new stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And I got to tell you, Lair, I did not know that Gov't Mule had actually done some Pink Floyd covers. I got to check them out.
Yeah.
All right. The first rock opera, Tommy the Who. Now, this is not the movie. This is the rock opera that Pete Townsend wrote. It's about a deaf, dumb, and blind kid, as you have heard probably from the Pinball Wizard song on here. I mean, I will tell you, if you listen to this record, you can hear the Pinball Wizard pretty much throughout the record. But it is a good record. The sound quality is incredible. It's weird. It's wild. I think it's about Pete Townshend's, his younger years, right? And he says that too. I got this DVD audio from a collector who upgraded all of his records for the most part, but The Who to a Japanese vinyl pressing. And, honestly, this sounds a lot better on vinyl, but this DVD audio sounds really good too. I mean, this album, it's a double album set. Really cool. A lot of artwork in here. But the story, the movie is pretty good. And I think Pete Townshend actually had done a kind of a remake or a revival of Tommy the Who at what point that he toured with. But that's all I know about it.
I think you're right, Todd. And the one thing that you hit on early was this is not the soundtrack. And it's important to say that because there was a soundtrack to it that had the actors and actresses from the movie doing the singing instead of the Who, like Anne Margaret and I forget some of the others. But this is the superior listen, not the soundtrack. Yeah.
And I don't know about Anne Margaret and the Who, but I guess it's whatever.
She's hot, but that's
but
about
not
it.
Who hot.
No, absolutely. Okay, now we're going to fast through some honorable mentions, folks. And the first one that I have up is Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. The reason I mention these are because this is a very, very, very rare situation where a group released 2 double albums at the same time, right? They didn't release one and then a year later they released 2 double albums at the same time. You got to have some balls as a group to pull something like that off. And guess what? They did, and they did pull it off.
Yeah, and I think every song on both of those albums is great, and there was several hits from them.
There was.
Interesting to pull that off.
Live and Let Die was a favorite, believe it or not, of Paul McCartney. He loved the way that Guns N' Roses pulled that song together. All right, next up, I got... this is just, if you're a Little Feat fan, I don't even have to tell you what this is. This is Waiting for Columbus. And even if you're not a big Little Feat fan, the album is tremendous. It captures the best of Southern soul, rhythm and blues, and rock, all combined in one group. Just awesome, an awesome listen to.
Yeah, and again, one of those live albums that's like the best.
Next up, and once again, this is a unique situation, I think, in rock and roll. This is the Chicago Transit Authority and Chicago 2. First of all, history in the making. This is a group whose first 2 albums were both double albums. Their first 2 albums, once again, Guns N' Roses had some balls, so did Chicago. To come out with your first 2 releases as double albums, number one, you got to have a lot of great material to do it, to pull it off, and they did. Now, one of the interesting things is the Chicago Transit Authority was their original name. And after this came out and became a monster hit, the actual Chicago Transit Authority took the band to court and forced them to change their band, which they shortened to Chicago.
Terry Kath was an amazing and very underrated guitar player.
He sure was. And look no further than Jimi Hendrix to tell you how much Terry Kath was respected.
Exactly. I think he said he was great.
Yes. Next up, Wings Over America. This is what I put into that category of underrated. You had a band that Paul McCartney put together with Denny Lane, who came from the Moody Blues. You got Jimmy McCullough, who was a young guitarist, and Joe English on drums. Wings Over America, Todd, is available to watch the concert. I saw the concert in a movie theater, in the Tower Theater in Philadelphia. It's available. I don't know which channel, which cable is streaming it now, which service, but I watched it, not more than a couple months ago. And watch it because a couple reasons. Number one, the band is fantastic and underrated. Number two, Joe English, the drummer, big bushy hair. You've got to watch him playing the drums on this concert. I don't know if I ever saw a drummer enjoying playing the drums more than he did. Never was he without a smile on his face, and it's just fun to watch. Anyway, the last one is my Led Zeppelin, How the West Was Won. And this is a DVD and a CD, just like the other Led Zeppelin Celebration Day. And How the West Was Won is kind of a unique and interesting. This was pulled together by Jimmy Page from different concerts and different events that they had. Some of them are very interesting, Todd. There was one show where Led Zepp was in the background getting ready, psyching themselves up to come out on stage, and they didn't see the audience until they came out. And when they came out, there were a bunch of old people, old men with hats and shirts and ties, and you can see the band like looking at each other and like, what is this? What is it?
Yeah, Larry, that was in that Becoming Led Zeppelin documentary. Remember that?
Yep. And you could see the band looking at each other and saying, let's give them hell. And that's what they did. And some of the old people are like, and it's a really great testament to showing the band in different types of audiences and whatnot. And great music, obviously.
Yeah, and a great double record there on that one, right?
Yep.
Okay, so more double albums that you must own. This is great. I know there's some ring wear on this one. It was a very popular record. It's a very popular record with me. This is Tales from the Topographic Oceans. And yes, this is a beautiful record. It's not like Fragile. It's not common. It's more of the Yes kind of chill, right? Everything just flows really good together. It's one of those you put on a Sunday morning and you flip through two different records on 4 sides and really enjoy. And then of course there's the 3 record set of Yes songs, which is a bunch of live concert performances and a whole bunch of other stuff in there. This is another popular one, right? It has all of the all the hits on it, right? You got Mood for a Day, all the stuff off of Fragile, All Good People. This was 1973, so this was kind of at their highlight time. Yeah. But a good 3 record set to own if you see this out there. Not an expensive record either. One that you can pick up fairly inexpensively and pretty much get the whole Yes catalog on live.
For sure.
And then the last couple here that I've got, of course, I'm not going to do it without leaving a double album out from Rush. Beautiful record. This was a combination of their first few albums, recorded at Massey Hall. All the World's a Stage. Another one that you should own. It's a great live performance, very, very well recorded. And this one actually was a Columbia Record Club, Blair. You can buy this one for a penny if you want. Not anymore,
8 tracks.
I can promise you.
8 tracks for a penny.
I probably had the 8 track before I had the record, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then the last one I will mention, another double record here is Ummagumma, which is a combination of Pink Floyd's live and then some of their studio work mixed together in an album. This is actually a really cool album. This is another one that you really should own if you love Pink Floyd, which I do. The cool thing is if you can find a UK version that has this little square filled in with this album cover, that's actually kind of hard to find.
Nice,
but
good little tip there.
Yeah, UK pressing. But again, all the good stuff in here. This is about the time, I believe, or close to the time that they were doing live in Pompeii. So
right,
they had all their gear all out here in the road.
Final thoughts, folks. Double albums are risky. Not every artist can fill 4 sides of vinyl and keep your attention. But when they get it right, man, it is unforgettable. You get deeper cuts, extended jams, sprawling concepts, and sometimes a glimpse of a band pushing past its own limits to take it to the next level.
Yes, and some double albums are bloated, but the ones we showed today, well, they're double doses of greatness.
Sounds like a future show, Todd. Double albums that sucked.
Well, We'll see you next time. And don't forget, you don't have to be a graybeard to be a part of Graybeard's Nation.
Physical Graffiti was quickly recorded in a French basement villa. This is, oh my, the facts are wrong.
This is incredible. Jimi Hendrix Experience. Fuck, I forgot the name of the album. Yeah, it's Electric Ladyland. Thank you. Jesus Christ.